What has God promised you out of the book of Joshua? So we're going to jump down to number 2, chapter 1, scripture 2. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan. Stop right there and think about the word arise. 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 I'm going to say that again. Arise. Arise is get up. When somebody say arise, they mean get up. They mean stand up. Normally when you arise, it's because it's time to go. So he's saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan. Jordan. Now I believe Jordan is a body of land. But nevertheless, whether it had been land or water, what I want you to think about is that God is saying, arise, stand up, get up, because it's time to go. And go over this Jordan. Jordan. What is Jordan to you? What is Jordan to you? Let's put something in the place of Jordan. What is in your way? What is in your way? That's what Jordan, whatever is in your way, that's what Jordan represents. Arise, go over this Jordan. God is saying overcome. See, go overcome that which is separating you from the promise. See, the Jordan, you got to get over the Jordan to get into the promise, because this is the book of Joshua. This is when they are entering into the promised land. But in order for you to enter in this promised land, you're going to have to overcome that thing that's separating you from it. So Jordan represents whatever that thing is that is separating you from your promise. God is saying, arise, get up, stand up. It's time to go. You need to overcome that thing which is separating you from the promise. I'm going to read a little further. And so it says, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, the thing that's separating you from God, from your promise. Thou and all this people, you and everybody that you have attached to you that are called to go over, not those that are not called to go over, because remember, before this, right, they were murmuring and complaining in the wilderness, and some people had to die off. So now that those people are dead and gone, those that were not called to go over with you, you got to be able to separate those that are called to go over with you and those that are not, and begin that pruning process, because you can't get to the promised land with a bunch of junk, with a bunch of dead weight. I'm speaking to myself right now. If I'm not speaking to nobody else, speaking to myself right now. You cannot get into the promised land or go into the promised land with dead weight, baggage, stuff that you're holding on to. You got to get rid of some dead weight, some dead people, some people that are not meant to go into this next dimension with you. So don't think it's strange when people are beginning to separate from you, when people are beginning to seemingly turn their back on you, walk away from you in friendships, in relationships. This is all manufactured by God to get you ready, to go into your promise. So we have to scale back, take off the dead weight. We will lose a lot of friends, or the friends that are not meant to go, family members that are not meant to go. businesses that are not meant to go, relationships that are not meant to go. Everything that is not called to go, all dead weight will die off so that you can get ready. God can get ready for you to go to this promised land. But all that are called for you, all the people that are called to go with you they're still around. Don't worry about it. So thou and all this people unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. We're going to stop right there. The land. Because God, I love the way God uses the Bible. A lot of things are allegories, metaphorics, right? So when we talk about this land is representing your promise, okay? The land represents your promise. The land represents your promise. And say that one more time. The land represents the promise. So the promise could be the business. The promise could be the relationship. The promise could be the finances. I don't want you to get caught up on the word land itself. But more or less, the land is a representation of the promise that God has given to you. So you're going to arise, you're going to overcome whatever obstacle is in the way so that you can get to the promised land, the promised land, that place. See, he said, I go and prepare a place for you. That place that has been prepared for you from the foundation is representation of that land. That land represents, that's what I mean. The land represents your promise, that place that God, even if it's the place in a building where you are supposed to be working as CEO, that's the place. If it's the place as a business that God represents that you're supposed to own, that's that place. That's the land. If it's finances that has been placed, but he has prepared for you, that's that place. That's the land that he has prepared for you before the foundation. So this is the promise of God, the promise that God has for you. He says, now, and go to the land, go to the promise, which I do give unto them, to you, and to them, and even to the children, your children. This is your generation. This is your legacy. Go unto that place. And every place, come on now, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. But see, I like to eat. I like to eat the word. We have to slow this word. He says, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon. Remember in Luke 10:19, right? Remember in Luke 10:19. In Luke 10:19, it says, behold, I give you the authority. I give you the power to tread upon serpents, scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Now, God is bringing that right back here to Joshua 1:3. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon. See, this is where confusion lies. Because he didn't say that every place your foot should walk upon. He said tread upon. Tread and walk is two different things. Tread is where you leave an imprint. When there's tire treads, that means that there's imprint. There's where you're stomping, okay? Most of the time when you're treading upon something, you're putting more weight where you'll leave an imprint, okay? So every place that your feet shall tread upon, okay? I give you, again, Luke 10:19, behold, I give unto you the power to tread upon serpents, scorpions, over the power of the enemy. Okay, so every place that your foot shall tread upon, where the enemy is at, every place where you can tread upon something and place under your feet. This is what I'm giving to you. See, I'm giving you the power over the enemy. Your promises lies in the places where you have the power to tread upon serpents and scorpions and the power of the enemy. You see, your promise lies in those things that you have victory over. See, this is where you're going to be most effective. This is where you're going to get the highest and best leads. This is your purpose-driven walk. This is your purpose-driven destiny. See, it's not a place where you're going to just walk and you have it comfortably. No, this is the place where you going to face your enemies. Yeah, see, remember, there was a report that was brought back of this place that was filled with milk and honey. But there was also a report that was brought back that there was giants in the land. There was an enemy in the land. And see, in order for you to overtake the land, you had to overtake the enemy. See, remember that thing that is separating you from the promise. You got to overcome that thing that is separating you. What is that thing that you have to overcome? Is it fear? Because see, they had to overcome fear. Cross over the Jordan, cross over the fear, cross over that fear. Because some of them was afraid, so they had to say. So now those that are not afraid, they can cross over fear. Now they can tread upon these things. They had to overcome the giants that was in the land, the scorpions, the serpents, and all the power of the enemy. They had to overcome to get to this promise. To get to this promise, to go into the land, to take over the land. You're going to have to tread upon some things. You have to tread upon poverty. I know I'm called to be a wealth distributor. I know I'm called to activate wealth in the lives of the people that I come in contact with. Okay? And in order for me to become, to live out my life in a purpose-driven life, live a purpose-driven life, that means I got to tread upon poverty. Hey, that serpent, the enemy of poverty, I got to put that under my feet. That it says every place that the sole of your foot should tread upon, that have I given you. See, when I tread upon poverty, what do I get? What do I get from the enemy? Over the power of the enemy. See, the enemy can use poverty to keep people in poverty. But when I tread upon poverty, I release prosperity. I said it. When I tread upon fear, I release victory. I release courage. I release a warrior. So those things that you are able to tread upon, the opposite of it, you are able to release. That's why it'll be given unto you. It is given unto you. It is given unto you. It says, from the wilderness, this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river of Euphrates, all of the land of the Hittites, unto the great sea, towards the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. Shall be your coast. Shall be your coast. This is the area, the territory that God has given you. This is the territory. Remember, that land, that territory could be anything. Remember, it could be the finances. It could be your business. It could be a position in a company. But this is the destiny. That destiny, that land is the territory that God is giving you to rule over. And in that territory, you got rivers, Rivers, flowing rivers represent flowing, a flow. You got land. Listen, all of it shall be yours. And it says, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As it was with Moses, so will I be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Come on here. Hold on. 5. Chapter 1, verse 5. Come on. Let's look at this a little more. Chapter 1, verse 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee. Who's in your way? Name them. Who's in your way? God's saying, name them. Who's in your way? Who is in your way? Not any man be able to stand before thee. That means not one man, not one person can get in the way. Not one person. Not one person. Not any man. Not any man. How about this? Not any man. You are a man. You are a woman. You can't even get in the way. Not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. There is no one in your way. If you believe that there's somebody that is blocking you, that's keeping you from getting, that's what the Lord said, you trying to blame it on saying, oh, I can't get there. This person is in my way. I remember when I was searching for jobs and I was trying to get jobs that was what required me to get a level 2 clearance. And, everybody knows that I have a past, that I'm a convicted felon. And so the jobs that I was applying for, I had the skill set to get, I went back to school and everything to increase my chances of being employable. And I would say being employable, because I wanted to be, at that time, I wanted a paycheck. I wanted to be employable. Who doesn't want 401ks and you do your time, you do what they tell you to do, and you want to change your life, and you want to re-enter and be able to re-enter into the employment field. And so, I was applying for jobs that would require me to get the level 2 clearing. And I would get the jobs, but I wouldn't get the clearing. I would get the jobs and I wouldn't get the clearing. I would cry and I'd be so frustrated because I done paid another $80, $65, however many dollars it costs to take the to get the level 2 background check done. And I would just believe, I had so much faith to believe, like, I'm gonna get this job, and God is gonna allow me to be cleared. And I wasn't cleared. And I would blame the woman. There's a woman that she's over. She has a territory, y'all. She definitely has a territory. She's definitely a principality. She has a power, you know what I'm saying? And she would never clear me. And she would never clear me. And I would be like, she's in my way. She's in my way. She's in my way. But as I read this scripture and Joshua 1 verse 5, it says, there shall not be any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor will I forsake thee. And at that time, I felt like God was failing me. I felt like I was being forsaken. I was being unjustly picked on because I've changed my life, and this was not fair. This was not a fair moment. And I would cry. And I remember the last time I cried unto God, and I heard the Lord say to me, you keep disappointing you. You keep disappointing you. See, he said to me, did I not give you the power to create wealth? I gave you a business. I gave you a business. You won't work that which I gave you, and you keep trying to go over here when I'm trying to take you over here. The reason why you're crying is not because she's in your way. She's not in your way. Now I understood this. Now I can understand this scripture that says, shall not any man be able to stand before you? Not any man is in your way. And I didn't call you to be over there. I called you to be over here. And see, when you're over here, you don't need a level 2. See, I got it all set up. I prepared a place for you. There's a promised land for you. When you get over yourself and what you want to do, get over your pride and what you want to do, and humble yourself and come over here where I'm trying to take you. Where I'm trying to take you, you don't need a level 2. Where I'm trying to take you, you don't need clearance from man. Where I'm trying to take you, you have the power to create wealth. And so when I begin to work that land which God has given me, no man could get in front of me because I didn't need a level 2. They were contracting my business. And so with me being an independent contractor, I got around these things that man has set up, the system that man has set up. God God had a system, his kingdom, a way for me to go and do that which he has called me to do, that didn't require me to walk through man's system. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. There is no one in your way. There is no one in your way. God will take care of what it is that he is calling. He will provide the doors to be open to the land in which you are called to inherit. The land in which you are called to inherit. Heiress means I have land already prepared for me. He has already had a place prepared for me. You are an heir to the kingdom. There's already a place prepared for you. When you overcome your Jordan, there's already a land that you are called to inherit. And no man, no one can get in the way of that. God says, I will be with thee. I will not fail thee. I will not forsake thee. And I tell you, he has not failed me. He has not forsaken me. As long as I am on the path that he is calling me to walk on, the doors have been open. That the people have already been prepared. They are already prepared to hear what you have to say. They already have the contracts. They already have the finances. They already have that which you are called to walk in. This is purpose driven. This is purpose driven. This is living a purpose driven life. What has God promised you, man or woman, sister and brother? What has God, king and queen, what has God promised you? We're going to go on to verse 6. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance. There go that word. We just talked about it. The land which I swore unto their fathers to give unto them. God is saying, be strong. Be strong. Be of a good courage. Be of a good courage. Do not fear. Do not fear. For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance. There's an inheritance. There's an inheritance that you are called to divide among the people, to give to them, those that are with you, those that are following you, those that you are called to lead. There's an inheritance that they even supposed to receive from you, that you're supposed to divide unto them. If you are called to be a leader, those people that are following you, they receive from you their portion of the inheritance. They receive from you their portion of the land. Pastor, minister, apostle, evangelist. There is a portion that you are supposed to divide unto your followers, bosses, entrepreneurs, those that have employees or that are called to employ other people. There's an apportion. See, when you cross the Jordan, when you cross that thing that is separating you unto that land, that promise, when you receive that thing, your promise, you are called to distribute, to distribute unto those that are following you. They can be employees. You are called to give them a set wage, bosses. You are called to distribute land, fortune, resources. Come on, finances to those that are following you, those that are attached to you. You are called to distribute an inheritance to them. This is the thing that that God swore unto them to give to them from their fathers. This is that thing. If you are a leader by any capacity, you have people that are following you, that you are called. You are responsible. You are responsible to distribute something to them. You should not be just taken from those that are following you. You should not just be taken from those that are following you. Joshua was not supposed to be taken from those that was following him. He is called to go over and inherit the land, the promise, so he can distribute that promise back unto the people. Okay, to distribute that promise back unto the people. Okay, so we are not going to leaders. We're not going to be just getting fat in wealth and not redistributing that wealth back unto the people, back unto the community, back unto the land on which we are taken from. Okay, we are supposed to distribute back unto those communities on which we inherit. If we inherit positions as leaders, we are responsible to give back unto that land in some type of way, in some type of capacity. We're supposed to pay it forward in the name of Jesus. That's what we're called to do. So this is why God says, be strong and of good courage. Going to number 7, verse 7, only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand